And welcome one and all to another RSG Lunch stream. I am Finity, filling in for your typical Ranger J 1999, but honestly, everyone could use a break from Ranger every now and then. So, with that, I am taking over the lunch stream once again, and I want to introduce our regular cast and crew here with one person that is a regular, but not always as regular. So, let's start off with Mr. Sanely Red, the apprentice that needs to find his own apprentice now. Sanely, how goes the apprentice search?
It's going good.
Do we have some candidates for you for your next apprentice? I'm guessing that's he's keeping it under wraps. All right, so we'll have to follow up with Sanely's apprentice search soon. Sanely is going to be monitoring the chat, so if you guys have questions and stuff, make sure you post them in the chat, and Sanely will be scooping them up for the end of the lunch stream when we'll get to some questions with you guys. Also, we have Mr. Grim the Mechanic. How are you doing, Grim? All right.
I to be honest, I still kind of have a hangover from the Nerf Herder stream last night.
Well, bright side, it's Friday. It is Friday.
That is true.
So we can all be happy that it's Friday. And then we have, from across the pond, who is finishing up his work on a Friday, Mr. Mike Hunt. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I have finished work. I don't go back until 4th of June. Yes!
Yeah, 4th of June. Wow, that's...
4th of June.
Wow.
Yeah, or as you say, June 4th.
Yes. No, I wasn't confused about the day. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I always get confused reading, you know, it just reads the wrong way for me.
Yeah. No, I get, especially when there's single digits, right? Because I can understand it if it's like 29/5. I know that it's May 29th. But once you get into the low digits and you do 4/5, I don't think 4th of May. I think April 5th.
Yes. So I have I've just finished my Christmas shopping because we're having Christmas on Sunday. We are. So, and I just realised that Sweary and Dancing's mother was the only person that I hadn't actually got anything for. So I've just dived into the shops, got her something. Result, walking back to the car, and I don't have to go back to the office for over a week. Happy days. And I unlocked Treya yesterday. Woohoo!
Congrats.
The fun begins.
Oh, yay.
And then we have our regular, non-regular, Mr. Chrome Cobra. How are you doing, Chrome?
I'm just thinking, May the 4th is a long damn time off. What are you going to do with all that time on your hands, Mike?
June 4th.
June 4th? Oh, yeah, it is May, ain't it?
Mike is off of work until May 4th, everyone.
Yeah, so I should have said it's not double drops. Or actually, no, technically it is double drops day, isn't it? It's not 25% off Crystal's day.
No, it is not 25% off Crystal's day.
Yes. No.
Ooh, got 10 Royal Guard shards from my Bronzium. Yay.
All right.
More shard shop currency. All right. So, and I think I added Xylo. Xylo, I apologize. Ranger normally does the call, so I forgot to include you. That is my fault. So I added you, Xylo. So hop on the stream whenever you get a chance here. But with that, is Sanely back? I think Sanely's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Welcome. Sorry about that. My aunt butt dialed me.
And that's another Friday on the RSG stream. Now you see why we have technical difficulties, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be problems with the internet, it can be a problem with our computer, or it could be an aunt butt dialing you. There's always a technical difficulty on the RSG stream.
I blame the butt sock.
Well, yeah, the butt sock is always okay.
Yeah, Ondane should be popping in any second.
Okay, so we will have Lady Ondane with us too. So while we wait for Miss Lady Andane, let's go ahead and start with our roster review for the day. So the roster review is for Clone Troop 211. He is a recipient of a roster review due to Mr. Grande Patron not being able to read his name. So if you guys aren't familiar, on the Wednesday stream, Grande does shout-outs at the beginning or sometimes in the middle, depending on if he's busy with work. But we always do shout-outs of the people in the chat. We have a secret word that's not really secret until the end. Usually somebody spoils it. But there's a secret word that you type in the chat, and then that gets you a shout-out on the stream. And if Grande mispronounces your name, you get a free mod/roster review. And so Clone Troop has taken us up on that, and now we are going to do his review. And so he has a fairly progressed roster.
Wait a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we paying the price for Grande's screw-up and Grande's not here?
Well, I have to pay the price for it. You guys are welcome to not pay the price if you wish.
You just say Grande
I'm
owes
just
us
joking,
one.
though, but
because then I hold it over
should
Grande.
be
Then I
here
did
for
the
this.
review, so it's fine. It's the way it works. But
Finn is equally as brilliant.
it's a team.
No loss
It's a
there.
team effort. It's a team effort. So, Clone Troop 211 is part of the Nerf Herder Elite Force. So shout out to the Nerf Herder Elite Force Guild. He is a almost 3.4 million GP. Doing relatively well in Arena. Looks like he's pretty much in top 20, right around that 30 to 20 range most days. But with a team that should be able to progress up to the top, so it may just be kind of a timing issue. But it looks pretty good overall. Grim, if you just want to take a quick look over his mods while we go over what he wants. He's not necessarily looking specifically for mods, but what he's looking for, well, I guess he is, but not necessarily for Arena. So what he's looking for is counters to two teams that he's been facing. One of them is a Thrawn lead with a Krennic, Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, and Tarkin. And another one is a First Order team with a crew lead. So he's looking for counters to an Empire, kind of an Empire team with a Thrawn lead and a First Order team with a crew lead. He was saying that he was looking for an offensive team for territory wars as well. He was thinking about doing Ewoks. So he wants to know what we think about Ewoks as well as other tunes that we would recommend. So
he's got some pretty nice speed secondary mods.
Mm-hmm.
A 23 and 19, a 19 speed secondary protection arrow.
Interesting.
That's a rarity right there. And 8 plus 18 speed secondary others.
Mm-hmm.
Some very nice mods.
And it looked like they're pretty well located. They're pretty much
they're
located
decently
on
distributed.
Mm-hmm. Most of the top ones are on Vader, but then he has some on Zombie, Crew, and Emperor Palpatine. So maybe if he wanted to, you could focus it a little bit more. But overall, it looks like he's hitting the right characters. Maybe trying to distribute his mods a little bit for territory wars. So all of his teams have a little bit rather than just his super-powered arena team. So, yeah, maybe a little bit more optimization if you really want to, but otherwise it looks pretty good on the mod side. So, looking at his roster, so let me go to his characters here. So he's looking for a counter to a Thrawn lead Empire team. So, what are we thinking about potential Thrawn lead counter teams? Because I have one that I always use in Arena, because there is one guy on my shard that loves using Empire, and I love the dude, MD Geist. And he'll always come up with a different type of Empire team in order to beat the current meta. So I love facing his teams a little bit just to see how they work. But usually I have a standard team that I use for Empire, but I don't know what you guys use for a Thrawn lead.
Well, I'm stupid, so I'm staying out of this one.
All right. Mike, what about you?
A counter to Thrawn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I feel like a startled gazelle here because I've got it. I just can't think of it.
Well, so I guess I can start out. The one that I always use is a GK Bears. The thing about the team with the Thrawn lead, Krennic, Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, and Tarkin, there's not really a lot of damage. The damage comes after they kill a character and Death Trooper starts to put the death mark. But if you run Kenobi and Barriss, you're pretty much going to be leaving. And if you're doing for like territory wars where you may not have like a full team, so in arena when I face this team it's usually GK, Barriss, CLS, Thrawn, and Nihilus, and so that one becomes a little bit of a high power team. If you're facing this team in like territory war and you may not want to like merge different teams in such a fashion because you want to keep CLS on one team, you want to keep Nihilus with the Sith, you might want your own Thrawn Empire team. If you put GK and Barriss together, just use another tank to help protect a little bit. Or you can drop Kenobi entirely so you don't get that crit immunity up. And then you use like an old Ben. And you put another taunter there. Or like 2 taunters. So that if one of them gets fractured by Thrawn, the other one will be able to taunt as well. And Barriss will be able to heal. So...
Sunfac would be good because he could get rid of a Shore's taunt on a counter, right?
Yeah, Sunfac is a good one too.
Another team that does pretty decent against the Krennic Thrawn team is Rogue One.
Yeah.
Jin with Cassian, Chirrut Baze, and Scarif. That does really well against it.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. I was thinking Jin. I don't know why. Can't remember.
Even though I hate Rebel Scum, it's a good team.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I intentionally boycotted Chase from my arena team, which made things a bit difficult for me when it was the meta. But yeah, no, I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that. This is like I only ever zeted Barriss once Territory Wars started, and I took one for the guild and finally put a Zeta on her because it just felt such a negative play.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And his Rogue One is in good shape. So he has a Gear 12 Jin, Chirrut, and Baze, and Cassian, and a Gear 11 K2SO. So his kind of standard Rogue One team is in good shape to go against that team. Yeah.
Only recommendation I have is don't use K2SO.
Yeah, I was going to jump in with that. Because Scarif would be great there, because if they've whittled Scarif down and then Thrawn fractures and kills him, of course he just revives.
Mm-hmm.
As long as, oh, no, he won't, because he won't have any buffs. Ooh.
He'll have buffs because of Chirrut. Well, no, after fracture, yeah, you're right. You can't kill him during the fracture, it has to be right after.
No, but you've still got Jin to revive him with AoE, so no, that's that would be the one.
Yeah. Another one that I played around with a little bit, but I haven't had a chance to really test it out, is Vader lead with a Wampa, because the Thrawn, if he has a Zeta Thrawn lead, they'll start dispelling, and the dots just keep on coming back, and they almost waste a turn using that ability if they have the dots.
Yeah. It's something that initially I was thinking Zeta Pout of a fast Vader, because then you stand a chance to nullify Thrawn before he fractures because he'll cleanse. That's basically what you want to do, isn't it? Keep Thrawn cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering. I mean, have a giggle at this one. Phoenix any good? Because I mean, Phoenix are kind of like, I don't know, maybe they were mocked when they first came out, but they're proving one of the most utilitarian squads.
Utilitarian, yeah.
That's the word. Thank you.
Well, they don't give buffs and take buffs away a lot either, which is going to cut out Thrawn's protection recovery as a leader.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of countering going on with them.
Yeah.
Armor shred against Shore Trooper if you're using Sabine, which will make him easier.
Yeah. You got Kanan cleansing, Zeb running around, sticking days on everyone, and therefore Thrawn's going to be trying to cleanse that. And
exposed from Hera.
Yeah.
And a res from Hera, too. In case anything goes south, you just bring that person, as long as you hit them with the backup plan early. You kind of get an extra life with Hera there, too. And he has a very high-level Phoenix as well. Gear 12, Hera, Sabine, Zeb, and Ezra. And looks like he has a Zeta on Ezra as well, because he's at 100%. And then Gear 11 Chopper, and a Gear 10 Kanan. So
they're going to like opening a can of whoop.
Sabina keep all the turn meter down so they stay faster too if she had her Zeta.
So those are some of the options for a Thrawn team. The other team he was looking for was a crew First Order team. So what are some potential counters for a crew First Order team?
Zeta Finn. They just stand there and take it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, their big deficiency is kind of the dispelling. So you just keep on putting.
And a Zeta Maul led Sith works as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. Sorry, hang on. Oh no, for crew. No, they don't dispel.
They don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why Finn is Zeta Finn works really well because First Order lack that dispel. So you can just start stacking those exposes and just keep on going against crew teams. Zeta Finn works nicely.
And if you don't have a 5th resistance, so we're talking Zeta Finn, Poe, Resistance Pilot, Resistance Trooper, because all your other Resistance are in your JTR squad, just throw in a Sid. Sid's great in that squad.
Rose. Everyone has R2 also. So.
No, Rose Taco. Rose Taco is awesome under a Finn lead because even if you don't have a lot of exposes, she uses her special in order to stun. So you can start stunning a lot of the First Order and buy yourself time if you're not getting those exposes.
See, my Rose Taco is only Gear 10.
But that's all you need, right? Typically, she's not going to be taking a lot of damage in Territory Wars. If your Zeta Finn team is rolling along, right, they're gaining so much turn meter that the other team isn't even able to go. And so it's really dependent on your speed of your Poe in particular. So he can go first and start getting that exposed. Once you do your first special on a character with an expose, your entire resistance team is going to start rolling. And then Rose is going to go and stun somebody, and you're just going to keep on resetting cooldowns. Rose shouldn't be taking any damage as long as you have a fast Poe with your Zeta Finn team.
Well, the worst thing is, I know Xylo takes reduced damage from expose, but doesn't crew take less damage from expose also?
They do, but the fact is that they're going to there's not going to be anything for them to do about it, right? It's going to take a little bit longer for you to kill them, which is why Jedi Training Rey is a little bit reduced, because she does more damage purely with the expose, but with the Zeta Finn, it's not just the increased damage, it's the turn meter gain that you're gaining from his Zeta lead.
Well, he stuns also, so that does help.
Yeah, so he can stun as well. So between him and Rose, you get a lot of stuns with that Zeta Finn team.
I tend to basic crew until he starts to really fold, and then just special him to death. But use the basics on him to start with. Because
he's the key to getting by. If you can get by crew's taunt, First Order isn't hard at all, but it's just getting past his never-ending taunts.
Yeah, but between Resistance Trooper being able to... I would keep Resistance Trooper for your Zeta Finn team, not for your Jedi Training Rey. That's how I personally have it divided up. And so that gives me... Because he has an expose with his basic, which I think works better under a Zeta Finn lead because you need those exposes a little bit more than you need them under Jedi Training Rey. And I think it was yesterday, Kelso was saying, like, he runs Jedi Training Rey with the 2 dads, right? So that's Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2, and then Kenobi and Old Ben. So you basically kind of get that tank. They're more damage-oriented. Finn's team is more turn meter-based. And so that's why I like Resistance Trooper with Finn, Poe, and then Rose and Holdo are the ones that I throw in there because they're the other kind of leftover resistance. But Rose in particular works really great, and then Holdo is kind of your backup tank in case anything goes sour.
And this is kind of a little bit different, but on Territory Wars for people facing First Order, I seen that a week or two ago you were talking about use Spirit if you run up against a Xylo team in Territory Wars.
Only if it's left alone.
Yeah. If you had a First Order and you couldn't kill anybody but Xylo, because some newer players have trouble with Xylo. That Gear 8 Spirit thing with Omega against a Xylo 1-on-1 was insane to see. We were up against a max Gear 12 Xylo and had a turd old Gear 8 Spirit just wipe him out.
Yep. So for those of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, if you face a First Order team, it doesn't matter which. There's sometimes you see a Phasma one, sometimes you see Kylo Ren unmasked. Doesn't matter. One of the characters that gets left usually at the end is regular Kylo Ren, and that's because with his special ability, with his outrage, he ends up gaining back health and protection, and it kind of becomes hard to kill him. So a lot of times you'll see this First Order team that just has a Kylo Ren left. And people throw like one character at a time, but if your Kylo Ren stuns you, then he goes again, and then he does basic, and then you get health immunity, and then you get stunned, and it's a whole big chain of crap once you don't kill Kylo Ren. So there's a character that you can there's a character you can throw in there, and that's Night Sister Spirit. If you Omega her special, she starts off the combat with Foresight. Whenever Night Sister Spirit does a basic, she gains back Foresight at the end of her turn, part of that unique ability. And so all you have to do is make sure that you have some speed mods on your Night Sister Spirit. That's it. You just need some speed mods. Put in your Night Sister Spirit alone as a one-character team against a solo Kylo Ren regular. Right? So with the Zeta Kylo Ren, just not unmasked, but the regular Kylo Ren, if you're facing a Xylo, you throw in a Night Sister Spirit with an Omega unique, put it on auto basic, and just watch. Because the sequence of events is literally Night Sister Spirit goes, gets Foresight, Kylo Ren's going to try his outrage, it's going to miss because of the Foresight, then Night Sister Spirit goes again, gains back Foresight, Kylo Ren goes, uses his basic, hits the Foresight, does nothing, and it just repeats back and forth and back and forth. And unless Kylo Ren hits you, he doesn't gain back any of the health and protection. And as a result, Kylo Ren basically just dies a slow death. So you leave it on auto basic just to make it faster. You don't want it on auto special. Auto basic and your Night Sister Spirit will take out Kylo Ren.
So that was just brilliant. We had one of our guild guys in a different guild run up to it. I was like, yeah, throw in Spirit. He's like, Spirit's just Gear 8. I was like, screw it. Do it anyway. Trust me. And they're like, well, I don't know. About 2 minutes later, they came back and like, oh my God, it actually worked. I was like, yeah, I heard it from this brilliant guy named Finn. So
there's a lot of little counters and stuff you pick up like that. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's definitely handy for smaller guilds who do have problems with Xylos.
All right.
I like that.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just saying I like that. That's cheers.
All right. And then so the next part was trying to make an Ewok offensive team for Territory Wars. So Ewoks are actually pretty good in Territory Wars for offense. Let's take a look at where his Ewoks are. One of the things
you have to be very careful to pick the right fights for it, though, because against some teams, the Ewok team will time out on.
Yeah, they're a slow damage team. You have to be able to auto them. Honestly, every time I've used them, I've had to auto them at some point in the battle because otherwise they're just too slow. But once you get them rolling, they work nicely. Yeah. So his Ewoks overall are Gear 8 pretty much. He has a Gear 11 or Gear 10. Sorry, his Logray is Gear 11. Paplu, Chirpa, Ewok Elder, Ewok Scout, and Wicked are Gear 10, and his Teebo is Gear 9. So, I mean, just looking at his team, he would be able to take out like a Phoenix squad on defense. I can tell you that just by looking at his team. Ewoks destroy Phoenix. Just so awesome. They can also take out a CLS team, but they need a little bit more than what you have usually. But what team would you guys typically run with Ewoks? I know there's a little bit of variance with what team you would run. So what would your ideal team be with the Ewoks? Grim, what do you think?
With his current Ewoks,
well, in general, he's working on his Ewoks, so we can give him an idea about which Ewoks to work on.
Well, Chirpa, Ewok Elder, Paplu, Logray, and Wicket.
All right, Mike. What about you? Which Ewoks would you work on?
You can also do a Teebo instead. Chirpa lead.
I've got five Gear 11 Ewoks at the moment. Chirper's my go-to. I love the Chirper lead. I always felt that he shat out because everyone was into Tebow, but I do like the fact that that Chirper adds the adds 10% offense, isn't it, to their basics, and they base a lot. So yeah, for me, it's Chirper, Tebow, Elder, Scout, and Wicket. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. Everything went quiet. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no. I heard you. So we had a Scout sighting.
Yay.
Sanely,
Yes.
what about you? What about your ideal 5 Ewoks?
Well, I usually run triple lead with Tebow, Wicket, Scout, and Elder.
Oh, so we have another Scout. All right.
Well,
Chrome?
mine's the only one that uses low gray.
Mine uses low grade too. So you're not alone.
Oh, okay.
Chrome, what about you?
I don't really use them, but the ones I've seen is the Chirpa, Tebow, Wicket, Scout, and either Paplu or Logray. I can't remember. There's a guy on my arena who runs Bob Musini. A lot of people from Reddit know him, but he's got a wicked nice set of Ewoks. And I believe that's the 5 he uses, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. And then mine is pretty similar to Grimm's, except I tend to like Tebow lead, so I go Tebow, Elder, Wicket, Paplu, and Logray. Because you can keep Ewok Elder stealthed with the Tebow lead and with Wicket, so I like that combination. And then Paplu's taunting, so then it doesn't matter.
Is it wrong that I always want to say jungle is massive when anyone says Wicket?
Yes, it is, Mike.
Oh.
It is very wrong, and may
Jungle
God
is
have mercy
massive.
on your soul.
Oh, it's apt, isn't it? Jungle for Ewoks?
No.
God wouldn't touch that.
All right. And so his last question.
I think people.
Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, I think people underestimate Logray. He is one of 3 characters in the game that can do an AOE daze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And turn
of
meter
course.
reduction and turn meter gain for the Ewoks with a different ability. I love this kit for Ewoks.
I just haven't got round to gearing them yet. They will get done.
So let me see if I can change the order here. It's switching it. So his last question is what tunes he should be working on next. So I'm trying to go through his pages.
All of them.
Well, he's almost done with all of them. He's got 46 Gear 12 characters.
Yeah. But just looking
Nice.
at some of his other characters, so his Wicket isn't 7-star. So definitely work on getting a 7-star Wicket, especially for those Zetas. He has a Gear 9 Old Ben that I'm seeing, and Old Ben is just a very useful character in the game. So I tend to like his usefulness. Trying to see what else he would want to work on. He has a Gear 8 Sunfac. Sunfac to me is one of the most versatile tanks in the game. He can sub into a lot of different places. He's not as versatile as like a Kenobi, for example, but he is a really hefty tank. So in something like a phase 2 of the Sith Raid, right, where you don't have any kind of dispel of a taunt, Scion just keeps on like attacking, right? If you're facing a team in Territory Wars, or if you're facing like a phase 2 Scion or something, Sunfac can take a beating. He is just crazy good. So Sunfac would be another one. With the new ships, you don't have to do this yet, but it may be worth it for you to work on like a Geo Spy just to work on his ship a little bit. Probably not for Arena, but maybe for Territory Wars as an additional battle. Scion is Gear 10, so if you can get him to Gear 11, that would be awesome. Wampa, his Wampa's 5-star Gear 8, so that would be someone else to work on. Haldo and Rose I mentioned before, but you have them at Gear 8 and 7, and honestly that's all you really need on them. You just want to finish starring them. So I think it's more the utility that really makes them beneficial. So if you work on them, but other than that, I think you have most of the characters that would be of importance at this point.
Anyone he's else? Got Gear 12 Bosk. So maybe,
Nice.
I mean, well, Gear 11 IG-88, and Gear 10 Zam and Dengar, Gear 9 Greedo. Maybe work a little bit on your bounty hunters. I mean, it's a decent team, and it'll give you access to the galactic bounties, which means source of IPD and Wampa shards outside of territory battles.
Yeah.
Of course, I keep forgetting that's in game now, isn't it?
I keep on reminding people because it's an amazing little addition that they added to the game right there.
Well, you know how deep I went into bounty hunters. In fact, scoundrels as a faction.
I mean, like I just the other night Zeta Greedo. Which was well worth the Zeta.
I Zetaed Vandor Chewie today.
That's a really good Zeta.
I'm hoping so.
And I see the comment by Bonfan about Haldo having more survivability at high gear. You are correct. Just depends on where you're using her. So if you are planning on using her with a Zeta Finn, hopefully she's not taking a lot of damage because you're getting enough turn meter gain, so you don't have to focus. But I have seen a lot of Jedi training raid teams, especially in territory wars, with a Haldo. And if you're using a Haldo in that scenario, then I agree. It would be a good idea to get her higher gear as well. So it just depends on where you're using her and how much you want to invest. Obviously, a higher gear Haldo, especially being a tank, is always going to be nice. So.
Well, that's usually how it is. Go ahead.
Her AoE throws out of days as well, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why
she's one of the other ones.
Rose under Finn. It's just so it's really nice.
Either that or run a maul lead, Holdo, whichever furball it is that does the days, and throw in Zeb just for S&Gs. And just watch the fact that they'll never, kind of move unless it's their turn.
Yeah, I was tempted to try that once I get them high enough, but do the Maul lead, Logray, Holdo, Death Trooper, and Zeb.
But what would be the point? It's not like stacking days matters.
Death Trooper and Zeb. Yeah, but Death Trooper and Zeb stun people that are dazed.
Yeah, but Zeb's is only on his basic, if I remember. He does the stun.
Yes.
So you're only stunning like one person. Again, you're wasting so many dazes.
Yes, but it would be so fun.
Until somebody G's and S's.
It is like the most inefficient team that you guys are mentioning. I'm going to throw up 800 dazes and stun 2 of them. Yay! Awful. All right.
Okay, throw in a Mr. Beardy for retribution.
Okay, there we go. We need somebody taunting. Okay, there we go. So four dazers and a Kenobi. There we go. All right.
Daisy Kenobi. So we've just invented a new team.
Daisy. God, I don't want to see that video, Mike.
The lesser known Kenobi. I am your sister.
All right.
You can tell by the beard.
Okay, let's get to. We're going way off track here. So, Clone Troop, if you have any other questions, just message us on the RSG Discord. It looks like your roster is in a good shape. I think we went through all the concerns that you had, but otherwise, always just feel free to message us if you have any other questions. With that being said,
yeah, overall a very nice roster.
Mm-hmm.
Title it Daisy Kenobi.
We're not calling his roster Daisy Kenobi. So, with that, let's go to Sanely Red. Sanely, I know you had a couple of announcements to make too. You put it in the chat at the beginning, but let's announce them on the stream too.
All right. Well, it looks like we may be getting Kira in the game pretty soon, according to a tweet by Star Wars Games. And Gaming-Fans has an exclusive that next month's login character is Lando. OG Lando, that is.
Ooh.
All right. So
Could that be a hint at a new tune?
I hope so. I hope that means we're getting.
I want. To be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing the droid.
I'm trying not to say too much. Yeah, I'm trying not to say. We're not going to spoil the movie.
What's that droid's name?
I know what it is. I don't want to say anything right now because it's
Leak.
I feel like it's going to spoil something. I don't want to say anything about the movie at this point.
I haven't seen the movie yet, so...
Yeah, I know. But we'll just leave it. There is a really cool droid, and so you'll see it in the movie.
Oh, man, the actress that plays it. Man, does she talk?
All right. So those were the announcements from Sanely. So yesterday was our typical Galactic War Thursday. However, because it is double drops today, I have saved my Galactic Wars. So if you guys want in the chat, go ahead and suggest some teams, and I'll start to do some Galactic
Can I
War.
suggest a team?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Daisy Kenobi.
Fine. Okay, so the team was let's see, Maul lead, right? I don't have a Zeta Maul, so it's going to be a regular Maul.
That's okay.
Then we have
The Mauls are available.
So we have Holdo, Logray, was it Zeb, and then Kenobi?
Yeah.
Zeb and Kenobi. There we go. So this is the Daisy Kenobi team. Can't believe I'm using this one. Okay. Let's see how awful this becomes.
Play it right.
Yeah, I know. I don't want Fives counterattacking, so let me daze him. I staggered him. Okay, so let's AoE daze everybody. Whee!
Oh, you're filling in your contracty things. What are they called? I haven't even done them yet.
Quests.
Quests, yeah.
I was working on them, but I'll do them if people want. I don't really care.
Kill the clones.
Yeah, I mean, I can if people are interested in seeing that. I can use 5 Jedi and go through this for that quest. I'm working primarily on the Jedi one right now. So
I wish Seaman gave you those.
The one with the Saj, or
no, the one where you need 5 Jedi and you just beat things.
Oh. I'm doing the one where you kill 200 Jedi with a Saj.
Yeah. I have that one active too, but I'm focusing on the Jedi one in particular.
I'm really liking these quests. It's I get to go do stuff and not be bored anymore.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of liking them and kind of not. Like, they're fun, but it makes me actually play the game, and you don't realize how much you sim. Holy crap, you don't realize how much you sim in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know, and I'm happy about it.
You're happy what? That we have these?
Happy for Seaman when I want to see him, because the Galactic War being so hard for so long broke me of that. So
yeah.
once I was able to see him anything, it's just been see him. But right. I do need to get into playing more though, like especially with the quests like Galactic War. I need to get on there and take care of some of these quests I can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna manually play my 2 GWs today.
All right.
I might even record it.
Sanely, you can get us some questions too, and then let me know what they want us to play as well. I see Scooby said Ewok, so I'll switch to Ewoks for the next node.
There's an Ewok in Daisy Kenobi.
Yes, I know.
So, a guy by the name of Heist Hero, he data mined the prestigious quest and let us know exactly what you're going to need to do to get all these titles.
Yes.
And it's going to take a while.
Oh, man, I am loving the title that I'm running.
Yeah, I went the spreadsheet that you posted sanely in our Discord. I went and pinned that one in the general chat because that one is so nice.
What title are you running, Mike?
Vader's Fist.
Vader's Fist. I knew it. I didn't even have to ask.
So you say my name and then you say my title.
No, you say the title and then your name.
No, we got to say that
way,
for the mature stream.
Either way works.
Rutabaga.
No, I made Teal say it out loud last night, and he said he got a real good chuckle out of that one.
Your Vader's fist, my cunt.
Yep.
Okay, Danilo Papayas wants you to play Lobot lead with droids.
Lobot lead with droids. I'll do that next.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, so our first question is Av7X92. Question, I'm merking today and helping one guild with their first heroic. I will unlock Treya today. And you thought I will ask questions. Oh, it's just a statement, okay.
No, well, congrats on being able to unlock your Treya.
You tricked me good there. Dash Rendar. Question, will ships change for Imperials? Because it doesn't feel very balanced and rock, paper, scissors. Which arena, when maxed, First Order / Empire can only beat Gear 10, Rebel / Big 10 times.
I heard half of that because Mike wasn't on mute.
Oh, sorry.
What was the second half of that after the First Order part, Stanley?
First Order / Empire can only beat Gear 10, Rebel / Bigs 1 out of 10 times.
So it's going to take a little while for the meta to stabilize. My guess is there is going to be a rock, paper, scissors type of thing happening. But it's going to end up being Empire and Rebel / Galactic Republic. So it'll be a Tarkin versus Home 1. We'll see how it shakes out. Right now, at least on my shard, Chimera is still kind of dominant. But I'm starting to see more Tarkins pop up. And I'm sure as more Tarkins come and they're successful, people will switch to it. But I think it's going to shift more towards the Tarkin and a Home 1 being the counter. And we'll see how it shakes up. I don't know. What do you think, Grim?
Well, we're seeing the return of the old Mace timeout team that used to be so prevalent in Arena, with Clone Sergeant's new taunt mechanic. That team is so annoying, and it literally comes down to if the RNG doesn't roll for you, you will lose against a Mace team. Because it's just so hard to kill them. But Tarkin got a massive buff for ships. His capital ship is amazing on offense. Haven't really seen it do very much on defense. But I mean, since they nerfed TIE Fighter's dodge chance, my experience with it hasn't been very good. Because it used to be you'd use Scimitar to give your TIE Fighter pilot the retribution and stuff, and he'd be dodging like mad, and your capital ship would be gone, and you could just pop the TIE Fighters ASAP. That doesn't happen as much anymore. All right. I don't know. It's gonna take some serious testing to figure out the new metas for ships.
Yeah, well.
So, Stama Olsbuff, how about your weakest 5 Jedi? Get your quests done and could be entertaining.
All right, let's see. So, my weakest 5 is a Mace lead with a Kanan Jedi Consular, a level 63 Jedi Knight Guardian, and a level 51 Blue Gear Kit Fisto. This is going to be awful.
Vito Anto. Grande has butchered my name tons of times. Mine has never been on screen. I am looking for Zeta advice. 2 raids from Treya, so I'm leading towards Nihilus. Just did Cyan recently.
No.
This is a good one.
He's 2 raids from Treya. Save your Zetas for Treya.
Yeah, agree.
Nihilus' Zeta is nice, but it's not essential for the team, especially if you're going to be running a Traya lead and not a Palpatine lead. So you can just wait for Traya, honestly.
Did he say that he had Scion Zeta?
Yes.
Okay, he does. Yeah, I'd say save it for Traya.
Okay, Ray's side piece. Question, safe to say it's worth spending some Fleet Omegas on Big's protection regeneration?
Safe? No. Right now, Biggs is still doing well in Fleet. I think he's still probably going to last in Fleet for a little while, but here's the thing. If something changes and we're not getting a lot of these mats, then you're going to end up putting mats on somebody that you may not have wanted. So if you're doing it for the current state and you're trying to stay afloat in ships and you're having difficulty now with a new system and you think an improved Biggs would help you, that's fine. You're doing it with a purpose. But if you're doing it for... if you're just doing it to try and see, thinking Biggs is going to be good and thinking he's going to be a long-term and not just thinking short-term right now, then I would say wait. Because the meta hasn't settled for the ships yet. It's still too early. What do you guys think? That would be my thought. Just to wait.
I'm saving every mat I have until someone smart figures out what we need to be using for the best squad. I'm not spending anything.
Yeah, usually it's wise when there's such a big update like this that changes things we're used to let other people do the work for you so you don't waste your stuff. Let them waste it for you.
Well, it's like, ships, the thing about ships that I think is they took, those who've been playing a while have been building up these ships and got them, they've leveled the ground with new players, pretty much. They took away every ship that was amazing, Reaper, TIE Fighter pilot. And, it's even ground now, but it's almost not fair for the people who's put in work to have the newer players who haven't put in the time and effort into some of these ships just all of a sudden just pop up and catch up,
I'm so with you on that. The fact that it's undone everything that we've been doing over the past year with a big bird.
Yeah, take Reaper.
Have a nice day.
Imagine how many of us higher end players have been farming Reaper, maxing out those two pilots, and now it's virtually useless. It's not a bad thing, but the thing is, if you like ships, you like ships. If you didn't like ships, you didn't. And this update has made the people who didn't like it hate it even more, and the people who did like ships don't like it as much now.
At the moment, I'm in the I'm not happy, unhappybunny.com, because the one that's doing my nutting is the fact that my TFP gets blasted away in like a millisecond, and there's dodges.
I had one dodge 4 times in a row. I got down to just a TIE Fighter pilot. He's got 25% dodge. He dodged 4 times in a row, made their capital ship go twice, and I had 4 guys up, and one TIE Fighter pilot got rid of all 4 of my ships.
Yeah, I'm not happy at all about that. It feels like the offense has been nerfed and the defense has been buffed, and it's the same ship. Honestly, for the devs, I wish, make your mind up. Is he going to dodge or not? And then stick to it, because at the moment, it's screwing us over.
Well, it was too much too fast. They should have added, either make it 3 ships, add reinforcement abilities, rework ship stats, but don't do everything all at one time. They could have staged it in, monthly. Okay, this month we're going to make it 3 versus 3. At the start of July, we're going to rework the ship stats. At the start of August, we're going to add the reinforcement abilities or something like that. Like I said, it's just such a load all at one time that it's kind of like a shock and awe to everyone that's playing.
It's kind of we haven't got a clue, you work it out.
Yeah, it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's not fair for the people who sit here at the top this entire time building up these ships to not fall, for them, half of them to become, not nearly as good anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I've
Yeah.
got Clone Sergeant and Fives already maxed out anyway. So you know, and I used Maze before Chimera came along, so I'm not totally upset. It's just I just got done gearing all my pilots. I was like, I got to gear more now.
Well, I still agree with what Finn said, in previous streams. They should have just introduced the reinforcement ability with the regular ships. Let us get used to that, and then be like, oh, we're going to test out this new squad setup, the 3v3, and see how you guys like it. And then, we play it for a while, I get feeling the most of the problem right now is that the learning curve for ships right now, since they dropped both of them on us right away, is so high. I mean, everyone's scrambling to try and figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do now?
Well, it was supposed to make ships faster to get through. I went from 45-second battles to 3-minute battles. It's like that they didn't do anything but triple the time involved I have to spend on a battle now because it's just the way it's set up,
Yeah, I'm not appreciating 4.5 minutes and a loss.
Yeah, me neither. I like my less than 1 minute go. I wouldn't even play on auto. I would manual battles in 45 seconds, and it's just so much more time involved. I don't have time to spend on 2 or 3 5-minute battles for ships and 5 to 10 arena battles at 3 minutes a battle. They were supposed to cut time out of the game. This is the exact opposite of that.
And now they've bottlenecked the gear that you need to stand any chance of kind of getting your wins.
And I have bought the $35 pack, so I'm not hating on that, but it's going to extend the whales away from the free to play in a month or two anyway. Like the people who already have everything are just going to be leaps and bounds away from the people who are still building too. So it's going to hamper them in the long run, I believe. Because once somebody figures out the good 7-man lineup, it's going to be the same thing as before. It's going to be the same 7 ships. Everybody's going to be running the exact same lineup. Nothing's just going to change. It's the way arena is. It's the way ship arena is. It's always like that. Regular arena is a little bit different because we do have a little variety, but it went from CLS to some JTR to PALP. You got a few scattered, but 90% of arena is always the same team.
One of the big things is that Grim mentioned it, and I had said this before, is that they made a lot of changes at once, right? But the reasoning behind the change, I don't think was solved with what they were doing. So they made this change with the idea of trying to increase fleet participation. I don't think this is doing what they intended, because the battles actually are longer. You basically made it so all the effort that people put into other ships is now kind of null in some cases because the ships are just changed so much. Like, it is like a whole different game. They're not joking when they call it ships 2.0. And so you make it so you minimize the effort that people have put into ships so far. And I don't think it's increasing the interest that they want. I think reinforcement abilities did, and they just needed to add crystals to lower tiers of prizes in Fleet Arena. People are interested because there's not much of a payout.
Get crystals for top 500.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what would have happened if they'd have done that to the toons over the ships? You'd had a mass exodus.
Well, so that's the benefit, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they did that knowing that there's not that many ships. They wouldn't do that to character. They do it to characters. Don't get me wrong, but they do it in like increments, right? They do it by one faction at a time, and so it's not like you're going crazy. Plus, they focus on a lot of characters that don't have a high volume of play. So they're never usually like the high volume factions that are getting these reworks, right? It's usually the reworks are usually for like bounty hunters. Bounty hunters weren't getting a lot of play despite being mandatory in like the dark side territory battles. They didn't really
that's
get
what they did here. They're like, which ships are we not using? We need to make some money off of them. And nobody's using the Geo ships. So,
exactly. And the only way to seem to make them useful is to change all the other ships to make them worse. That's essentially what it was. Let's make Geospy more useful. So let's cut the dodge of TIE Fighter pilot in half. let's reduce the effects of TIE Reaper by more than half, and let's just see if let's just go and see what happens with the rest of the ships. Right? So
I mean,
it was
Boba's
a
the only
big
one who
change.
got. I would say Boba's the only one who got a nice upgrade that everybody uses now. I mean,
Yeah, Boba's ship and Kylo Ren's shuttle were the ones that got buffed the best, I think.
I think it'll come down to
change too.
like find the 3 fastest ships like Poe and 2 others and stick them when you open a lineup and try to knock out 1 or 2 as quick as you can on the other side. It seems like to me that may be what's going to end up happening. And before it's all said, now whoever's just got the 3 fastest ships till it gets to mirror matches, and then it's all going to be RNG again.
And I know that this is going to end up, like, we're all just going to get used to it. A lot of us are just addicted to this game, right? So we're not happy with these changes, but eventually that's what the changes are going to be, and we'll get used to it, and we'll just continue moving forward with it. But that doesn't mean that we don't think it was a bad change, I think. And if you look at it as a whole, I think parts of it were good. I think the large majority, though, was done in too much at once, and I think it's just coming off that way. So there's a lot of I hate saying it this way, but it's probably the truth. The ones that are getting screwed the most by this are the free-to-play, and they're the ones that aren't contributing any money to the game necessarily, right? So, and the ones that are getting the most benefit are the pay-to-play players, because they have a lot of the ships, they have the pilots geared up to gear 12. So they're not in a position where they have to go back and question whether or not they should have farmed TIE Reaper because they were going for everything anyways. Free-to-play in general, not all, because I have like all my ships to 7-star, and I don't have all my pilots geared up, but I have all my ships to 7-star, so I'm able to pivot if I need to. But in general, a lot of the lower free-to-play that were going after Reaper or going after certain ships that have like changed a lot, they're getting upset because their effort seems to be wasted, but they're not the ones necessarily contributing to the money. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's a business. The game is a business, so I don't begrudge them for doing that. But I think there were other ways they could have gone about it.
Well, on that same note, these guys who, the Krakens, Whales, or free-to-play, who's been playing a long time, who already have everything, they're farming the shit out of 6A right now for reinforcement abilities, where free-to-play don't have that luxury because they have other tunes they have to farm.
Plus, it's not worth it.
So the next 4 days, the people who already have all these ships are going to have tons and tons of reinforcement mats.
Kinda. The drop rate is awful, and in a month, once they get the fleet battle tables going, well, yeah, except for Grim, everybody else is getting awful. But
yeah,
they're also going to introduce a lot of this in the fleet battle table, I'm pretty sure. That's what that whole table is. So next month, we'll have a lot more access to these reinforcements. We'll have access to some of the mats, I'm sure. They'll be dropping just like the other stuff does in Cantina and whatnot. So I think there's nothing wrong with, waiting at this point to farm those, especially for free-to-play. Because, yeah, there are other things to prioritize, and it's not worth it for that drop rate.
I am excited about the ship battles, though. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite things about territory battles is going in and, fighting the fleet. On the first day or two, I might not do as many regular combat missions, but I love jumping in the fleet just because it's something different. So it'd be nice to be able to use ships on like regular battles too. Like I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can get one more question in here sanely. And I don't know if there were any other team compositions. I saw the one with Kenobi and Hermit Yoda and stuff. I did that one. I don't know if there were some other ones that I missed after.
I don't really see any team comp suggestions. Friedrich Nielsen. Question, do you think Geonosians will be the way most players go for ships?
No.
I have tried 2 of these teams today and not lost a ship. Maybe they will only be used to climb.
Yep. Territory war offense and climbing ships.
I had a crack at a Geonosian squad earlier, and it's not very good on defense.
Mm-mm.
Well, it's because those ships are so slow. Oh my god.
They are slow.
They are 3 of the slowest ships in the game.
Put some speed mods on them.
No, that won't help.
Yeah, their only thing is they assist with each other every time. So I mean, that's if they can withstand the first salvo from whoever you're facing, they're good on offense. But if you're facing them on defense, I mean, you can just pinpoint them, one at a time and just chuck them out.
All right.
At least there's some variety. I'll give it that. At least Ships has variety now. I've complained about everybody using the same lineup for months. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, I guess.
All right. Let's do another question. We got through that one pretty quick.
Okay, Michael Klein, he suggests clones with GK instead of Echo. Okay, Mr. Penny Pinch, question for panel. I need teams that can beat Treya under easy peasy, lead Sith with Sith Trooper. Nobody can beat a guy that has her on my shard. Nobody can get there first.
Treya lead?
No, it's Emperor Palpatine lead. That's the easy peasy.
That's the Danger Zone team, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Wiggs, CLS, Han, and maybe even Baze the Tank or somebody like that, GK or somebody.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people haven't said much about it, but characters that can daze work wonders against EP leads.
You cut that turn meter off Wampa. Throw Wampa in on a team somewhere.
Yeah.
Holdo's got AoE days. Is it Holdo that has AoE days?
Yeah. Holdo's got AoE days, Logray, and Maul.
I know, the Ewoks, they don't have an AoE days, but they go so fast, they could possibly put up a few days that's on the key tunes you need to, possibly. I still think they'd get destroyed in a battle, though. But yeah, that days, if you can cut off their turn meter supply, the EP team, that's what they work off of. Palpatine, if he stuns 4 of your guys, he's automatically getting 80% turn meter or whatever. So, if he's stunning and has a couple shots up, he's a monster in himself, not counting everybody else.
Mr. Penny Pinch says that the Danger Zone team doesn't work against that lineup.
That's the one the videos were based on, so I don't know why. I have one that's showing up on my arena now, so I can play around with it. The ones that have been showing up on mine are all Treya lead, not Emperor Palpatine lead, so I'll have to play around, see if I can
It's probably tough getting through Sith Trooper's taunt before Scion taunts, and then you got them both taunting, and then you can't get to Pal.
That's why I still like Thrawn.
Probably.
Thrawn is a fun character.
He is. He's just amazing.
Yeah.
Also, when all else fails, Rex is still real good against EP leads. They can't generate turn meter if they can't land debuffs on you.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to go back to the old Rex, Wampa, Towson, GK, or Crew, and that little team people use. That's a really good team. Yeah, there's a couple of those in my shard that are really nice. Like I said, you got the Tenacity from Rex, you got the AoE days from Wampa, you got Towson sucking down their health.
Towson, as long as you keep her, as long as she's not fractured or whatever. Personally, when I go against that squad, the first thing I do, if I can, is fracture Towson, prevent her, ability block her if possible, fracture her, she's out the game, and then you've got the win. But like you say, if you leave her alone, you're dead.
Mm-hmm. It don't take long once they start spreading that plague around each other. Before you know it, you're like, oh, what? They took off a little bit of health, and the next thing you know, they're down to yellow or red, and they still got 3 stacks of plague on them. And you can't turn meter swap with Thrawn in that case, because then you're just killing your guys faster.
All right.
Epic Toss question. Who is/was Kira? Give me some lore, or is she a new character? I haven't seen the movie yet.
She's amazing.
She's a new character.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She pretended to be a boy in Pitch Black, and no,
Really, was that her?
that was her. True story.
Really?
True story.
Oh, snap.
She's
I don't
Khaleesi,
know.
and that's
I
all that
don't-
matters. All of you, hush.
Mike yanking our chain again.
What? What?
I said you're yanking our chain again.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
She poured a Mulan.
Wrong franchise. I'm good at that.
All right. I think we can call it there. So thank you guys for joining us on the lunch stream. I tried to get through all the suggestions that you guys had for the teams in Galactic War. So I'll keep on working through some of these, probably with my Jedi team to work on my quest. So Frederick Nielsen, and you can say it correctly, sanely, because I know I'm not saying it right.
Frederick Nielsen.
There you go. So the reward should be coming out later today. I would think around 2 o'clock, which is normally when we would get our payout time-wise. Not on the day, we would get it later. But so I think somewhere around 2 o'clock is when they're going to be coming. But I'm not 100% on that. But they should be coming today. So thank you all
Soon,
for
TM.
watching. Yes, soon TM. So this was the lunch stream. We do this every working day from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We will not be doing it on this coming Monday because Monday is a U.S. holiday, so we will be off. But we will be back on Tuesday. We also have our Wednesday night stream, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that one goes through all the news and notes from the last week. Tomorrow, we have our Jedi Academy stream, which will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we do just a pure question and answer stream. So you guys ask the questions. We have a panel of guests that will answer the questions for you. So we have Warrior, Ramon Azab, so some of the game changers, and we have Mr. Mike Hunt, but he won't be here tomorrow, but he's a regular on there. You will have the RSG crew up there, such as Grande, Loki, and myself. Ranger won't be there tomorrow either. But we're hoping to have a guest tomorrow as well, so make sure you join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. And bring all of your questions. I know they're probably going to be heavy in ships, so that's fine. Bring all of your questions, and we'll do our best to answer it. And with that, sanely, anything you want to pimp?
Nope.
All right, Grim.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more from us, and that bell icon to be reminded every time we do post new stuff. And like and subscribe, and yeah. And I said subscribe twice.
Yes. Mike?
Yeah, I've got some. I posted my highest Night Sister score yesterday. So I've got that coming out. I've been gearing up some characters, and I said earlier I've been throwing out some Zetas. I've got Treya running. Yeah, I'm trying out. I'm desperate to get Scoundrels to work for me, and so I'm going to be doing quite a lot with Scoundrels as well. Yeah, pop on by. Mike Hunt, SWGOH.
All right. And then Mr. Chrome Cobra?
Not much. Let's just say Ondane's awesome.
There we go.
If not, she'll kill me.
And that she is. And so with that, I did want to comment on one thing. So I saw Hermitized wrote that the stream is better without that Muppet interrupting, which I'm assuming is Ranger with his Kermit. And Ski Trooper said the stream needs more Muppet. So with that, I will end
Kermit the Frog
by doing my best Kermit the Frog impression. Hello everybody, this is Kermit the Frog, here to tell you about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Ha 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 ha! And,
That sounds more like Apu from Simpsons.
well, this is all that I can do. So with that, everybody have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Come again.
Thank you for watching, and please come again.
You're